Okay, everybody, welcome to the Why Invest in Brisbane Real Estate Seminar. I'll be hosting the seminar. My name's Michael Kelly, and we've got Natalie Cook, five-time Olympian, Adrian Harris, and Richard Lawrence from Position Property to talk to us all through about all good things property. So about Natalie Cook, she's a five-time Olympian. Some of you may know of her, and I pretty much know the whole of Australia probably does. Five-time Olympian, only woman in Australia to be in the 5 times Olympics. She's an Order of Australia medal and an author. Nat's trademark authenticity is energy and ease combined with her success as both an elite athlete and influential business leader. Nat is a powerful motivational speaker and strategic sports and wellbeing advisor, serving as a director of Brisbane 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games Organising Committee and holding a position on the World Olympians Association Board. Nat is a firm believer in the game's potential to create enduring legacies for individuals, businesses and society as a whole. And as a sought-after motivational speaker for organisations such as Amazon, Deloitte, the real estate industry and major government departments for over 25 years, Nat approaches her presentations, workshops, corporate and leadership training and ambassador roles with the same commitment to excellence that made her a successful athlete. Based in Brisbane, Nat Cook travels to the Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, across Australia and globally to be a keynote speaker at events and conferences. Working with Michael as a strategic property advisor and transaction specialist over many years, Nat with Michael has built a positive cash flow property portfolio and has a number of apartments in her portfolio across Sydney, the Gold Coast and Brisbane. And there's a couple of her websites. Natalie, you might want to say a word or two.
Oh, you said a lot there, Michael, but thanks for having me. And the thing, I don't know if people have got there, can see this is the most important part of all of it. It's 23 years old, the Olympic gold medal, and it's still worth talking about, right? It's like property. It just keeps growing in value. So I'm super excited to be with you and also have worked a very long time with Michael. We're in great hands with Michael and Adrian and the team. And I'm very grateful for what they've helped me and my family build. So thank you. And I look forward to being a part of the future of Brisbane.
Thanks, Nat. Very much appreciated. And here. Okay, so a bit about myself very quickly. I've been transacting real estate for over 22 years for mums and dads. I buy development sites for developers, large family offices and super funds across Australia, anywhere from 400,000 on one day to a project worth 150 million, which goes on for many, many months on a daily basis. All properties that I work on are off the market, and I've written a couple of books, How to Safely Own 5 Properties in 10 Years and Retire, and was featured in the Real Estate Millionaire book. A highly sought after transactional specialist, negotiator and property investment strategist with whose success has been so celebrated that has led Michael to become a best-selling author, as I mentioned. I know what developments are coming onto the market and who the quality developers are and what a good floor plan is and how to negotiate with developers. Working with me to buy your brand new home or investment property, you get to plug into my 20 years of networks, relationships and contacts before these properties even go to the real estate agents to market them for sale on Domain and realestate.com websites. And we bought a couple of properties recently that didn't come to market, that we purchased off market for Natalie as well. So she's benefited greatly from there so far. I've also been...
Michael, I think one's almost finished. I'm very excited. I drive past it a lot and I can't wait to take possession or have settlement of that. So very exciting.
And that's very true. And you've had an uplift of about 75 to 100,000. And you've also got a about a 5.6, 5.7 rental return, which is phenomenal. Really, really well done.
Yep, keep it coming. Keep it coming. Thank you.
And the people that made that work is Richard and Adrian from Position Property. So who are Position Property? Well, as you can see on the screen here, the lovely fellow in the middle sitting down, that's Richard Lawrence. He's the owner of the company. And Adrian is sitting on his right, which is our left. And Richard Lawrence and Adrian have sold and delivered successfully over 13,500 apartments, townhouses and houses off the plan across Brisbane City over the past 20 years. And they are the most knowledgeable on the ground in Brisbane real estate. And combined with the 6 people just on that screen is over 100 years of combined property experience. So they're a phenomenal team. So on that note, with many awards that they win, I'll hand it over to Richard, and he can have a bit of a chat and see where the property market's at.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's been great to be in Brisbane. You know, been marketing projects and marketing residential property for over 23 years, and for us, it's been watching, you know, where property's grown and the growth of where Brisbane's grown in the past 23 years. For us, being an agency in Brisbane, but really looking forward to the next 10 years. I think one thing that is on everyone's mind is what's happening with what's happening in Brisbane, but it's Australia-wide, that we've got this real opportunity in the marketplace to take advantage of really supply, a very low supply in Brisbane, but we've got massive immigration coming into Australia as well. And Brisbane's seeing a large proportion of that, really due to the fact that we're coming up, you know, we're gearing up for the Olympics. Brisbane's skyline's changed dramatically over the last 2 or 3 years. And, you know, 5 years ago, we were talking about some of the infrastructure in Brisbane looking to complete, like the new casino. And we see that this infrastructure with the casino and also Cross River Rail, and we're seeing all this infrastructure, close to, you know, $15 billion worth of infrastructure that is going to be delivered next year. And then we're seeing the next round of infrastructure about to occur as well, gearing up to the Olympics. So I think on the horizon between now and the Olympics and now and 32, we're looking at close to $70 billion worth of infrastructure. So I think Brisbane's becoming this central piece really between the Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast. And we're seeing a lot of not just residential commercial building, but we're seeing new hospitals, new schools, obviously a new airport terminal, but then we're seeing all the sporting infrastructure that's going to get delivered for the Olympics. So we're really excited about the next 10 years. But on the ground is we're seeing a real opportunity to take advantage of where the market's sitting at the moment. Because where we're seeing the market at the moment is in Brisbane is we're really seeing a very, very low supply. And that supply is being driven by a lot of economic drivers. And those drivers are being sort of influencing the supply. And that supply is sort of really putting pressure on the market to deliver. And we're seeing a very tight rental market as well. So those drivers that are driving the market are employment. I think with all the infrastructure and all the work coming up to the Olympics, Brisbane needs a lot of people coming in to build this infrastructure. And I think this economic drive for the next 10 years is not going to slow down in the market, because we've got, as I said, new rail, new hospitals, new roads, new commercial, but we need a lot more accommodation for people to live in. So I think we're really excited about those economic drivers. And we really relate the property market in Brisbane, basically we call it a pie. And that's when we know that the property market's going to do exceptionally well in the next few years, because the pie is made up as population is number one, infrastructure number two, and employment. And when all those three items continue to do really well, we see growth opportunities in the property market. So population growth, we're seeing that continue to be significantly strong in Queensland. And we're also then seeing the infrastructure spend as well coming in to the market. And then following by that is obviously those employment opportunities where we're seeing a very tight employment market. So I think when you look at the labour markets, and we've got this growth of 3.5% and the jobs market can continue to go down, we're seeing obviously a lot of people moving into the state, and that growth is really showing that Brisbane is getting tremendous growth on close to 1,000 people per week coming into the state. So we're really seeing the growth happening, but supply falling, and that's why we believe or know that we'll see some really strong growth in opportunities in value. And I think when we look back, I think coming back over the last couple of years, vacancy rates in Brisbane have been approximately down to 0.7%, which is unheard of. And with that tightening and no supply coming in, we see there's a good opportunity. And I think what you said, Michael, for Natalie's apartment, we're seeing those returns, those yields getting close to 6%.
Yeah, that's quite incredible, isn't it? It's fantastic. Great information moving forward there. Thank you for that, Richard. We will go across to here. So Position Property have been doing it for 23 years now, and they've been continually winning awards for what they do as project managers and marketers. So they're fantastic. They've got a number of developers that are exclusive on their books. They've got over 22 developers that they've been working with for many, many years, and they deliver on what they say they're going to deliver and what you see in their brochures. So they're quite good. You might want to have a quick word about your developers, Richard, where we're in a market where some developers are failing and people get a bit nervous, but you've known these guys for a very long time.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with the developers that we've been working with. I think most of them have been around for 15 to 20 plus years, and a lot of them have had their own connections to builders. So I think one of the important things at the moment is what people are looking for, and what we've been really working very diligently on is the delivery side, because I think taking advantage of watching, selling something and getting it delivered is probably one of the most important things for us. And it's sort of getting to that point where it's crucial that, where our relationship is with the client and their relationship with the builder. And we do have a lot of clients who are working directly as a builder developer as well, which is pretty important in the market today.
Yeah, very good. Absolutely, it is. Thank you. Okay, so we move across. Thank you, Richard, for your wise words, and the man that's on the ground out there doing what I consider is building half of Brisbane's real estate. But Adrian's been working with him for well over 20 years, and they work together very well. And Adrian, I'll hand it over to you to run through the Queensland market fundamentals.
Richard's actually pretty keen to say a few words on this.
Oh, pretty passionate about the market, because we do see a real opportunity at the moment to take advantage. Before the market runs again, I think what we're seeing is a real supply issue and build prices and construction costs going up, and we're seeing a real opportunity to take advantage, right now of opportunities, because we're seeing these opportunities diminish pretty quickly. Once we sell a project, and then launch another one, we are launching them at a complete new level of price as well. So we're seeing the opportunity at the moment to take advantage of getting in early to the projects before they go to the market. And when they go onto the market, we do see, a more slower sales rate that's needed, because we know over the next 2 years why these developments are getting built will have significant price increase as well. So I think one of the advantages of working with you, Michael, is taking advantage of getting these initial pre-sales that we need to get the development started. But then from there, we've got a slower sales rate, because the developers are going to take advantage of the market growth as well while they're getting constructed.
And Nat took advantage of that for the project that she's talking about, where she bought think it was early last year, and so locked in the price then, paid the 10% back then, but then gets the advantage of the price growth over the next 18 months, 2 years, while the building's being built, leading up to settlement and completion.
Absolutely. No, very good words. So, Adrian, I hand it over to you for the market fundamentals.
Okay. So look, Richard has touched on quite a few of these things when he spoke a bit earlier, but as he mentioned, Brisbane really is a city on the move. We've been talking about in the last few years about things being delivered like our tunnels and road systems, our $3 billion airport upgrade, and now we've got the $3.6 billion Queen's Wharf Casino precinct, which is due to open in April next year. Obviously, these figures here on the screen showing you how well the economy is driving. Our Port of Brisbane sees $55 billion worth of freight in and out throughout the year. Interestingly enough, what people might not know is Brisbane's airport has the largest capacity of any runway capacity of any airport in Australia, which is surprising to some people. On the bottom section of this screen, you can see, obviously, as previously mentioned, Brisbane's been awarded as the host city of the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games. And so, as Richard previously mentioned, there's so much infrastructure spend going in leading up to these games, whether it be lifestyle amenity, whether it be transport options, or whether it be specifically for the games themselves. And all that infrastructure is bringing jobs to Brisbane, and plenty of people moving here to build and deliver all this infrastructure. So they're all looking for somewhere to live and just putting more pressure, more demand on property in Brisbane. Just some of the infrastructure that we've mentioned. That top image there is the $3.6 billion casino precinct. It's not just a casino. There's a couple of international hotel chains. There's a sky deck up the top there, restaurants and bars 102 metres above the river. You've got retail, you've got ballrooms. It's really going to be a game changer for the Brisbane CBD. The other images there, that building in the middle on the left is the Queensland Performing Arts Centre, which is going through a $175 million upgrade, will be completed next year. The green image there of the parklands, that's Victoria Park in inner city Brisbane. That's 64 hectares of space. That's going to be changed from a golf course back into parklands, water holes, camping, landscape grounds. And interestingly enough, they're increasing the tree canopy of that area from 10% to 60% of that with, lush green trees. So lovely places for parks and spending time in inner Brisbane. And then that lower image there, that's one of 3 pedestrian bridges currently under construction crossing the Brisbane River. This one's quite interesting. It's going to have a restaurant in the middle of it, halfway across the bridge. But yes, so certainly, inner city lifestyle, inner city getting around, transport, where people want to live. This is moving Brisbane ahead in leaps and bounds. As Richard touched on previously, the migration into Brisbane. It is the #1 city in Australia with migration. Lots of people moving here, whether they're moving for the fantastic weather, whether they're moving for jobs, for big ones, housing affordability compared to the southern states. And another one that people might not think about is education. Schooling in Brisbane is private schooling is considerably more affordable than Sydney and Melbourne schools. So often we have families with young kids moving up here to take advantage of that. As previously mentioned, the image on the right there of the upgrade of the $3 billion airport, and then the Port of Brisbane here. They're relatively close. They're only about 20 minutes and half an hour from the Brisbane CBD. So Brisbane being the closest major capital city to Asia, that Port of Brisbane is extremely busy. And as I mentioned, the lifestyle. I mean, people come up from Sydney and Melbourne and they say, it's so easy to live in Brisbane. I mean, there's hardly any traffic by comparison. We often say here in the office, it takes more than 20 minutes to get there. There must be something wrong. It's very easy to get around. And, this image here, New Farm Park, just outside the Brisbane CBD, makes it very easy living, fantastic lifestyle. Now, it's not just Brisbane itself. We're the jumping off point for the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast and Stradbroke Island and Moreton Bay. So lifestyle wise, we've got the whole southeast Queensland just right on your doorstep here. You can see from this screen here. Plenty of beaches and choices to have, and very easy access from Brisbane. Here's just a few of the news articles, so you're not just hearing from us, a variety of different sources here, saying that the lack of listings, lack of property in Brisbane's pushing prices up, where Brisbane's going in the next 10 years, predicting another 2.2 million people moving into southeast Queensland. All this, as Richard mentioned previously, also the population growth of roughly 1,000 people a week coming here. They're all looking for places to live. When we have a property for rent, there's queues of people, all putting in applications trying to find it. And you've seen that on the news. That's probably similar in cities all across Australia. So whether they're looking to buy or to rent, it's great for if you're a property investor to have a piece of Brisbane property. The next screen is very much the same. And this is all fantastic for Brisbane. This is without, so much of this is still happening without even adding the Olympic Games. Adding the Olympic Games like throwing a can of kerosene on a bonfire, because it's already going well, and now you add the Olympic Games into it, and it just puts it on high drive with all the infrastructure spend and jobs, employment. These are just some more recent articles that came out in just the last couple of months. With the Queensland population boom, you can see people are moving here. Predominantly, you'll see on a couple of graphs coming up, predominantly from Sydney and New South Wales. You see that they're leaving those states and moving into Queensland. So the unemployment rate, it's the lowest it's been since the early 1970s. We've got plenty of jobs here. Booming economy, great job growth, plenty of people coming here. Just one of the many things we've mentioned that's driving people to come to Brisbane and pushing prices, demand on property. And this next graph here, this is one I mentioned before. So you can see that blue graph on the left. That's people moving into Brisbane, into Queensland over the last couple of years. And you can see they're leaving New South Wales and Victoria, and most of them coming into Queensland. And then on the right-hand side, that's just showing you the nation's population growth, with Queensland's, accounting for over half of the growth throughout the nation. And not only that, we've also got international migration. Obviously, the borders have opened up again, and Australia's going to get almost another 400,000 new residents for next year. So once again, a lot of those people are now considering Brisbane. Internationally, it was really seen that it was very much a COVID-safe city. It was a very easy lifestyle even throughout COVID. We were pretty lucky here, and that was seen by international people, and they recognised that, and they see Brisbane as a very safe city and a lovely place to live. So they're choosing to call it home. This is just another quote from the National Property Research Company showing that people are moving to southeast Queensland, and a lot of them are. They're not like retirees. They are the workforce, so they are coming here and keeping the economy going in southeast Queensland and in Brisbane. Because all these people are moving in here, obviously we've got record low vacancy rates, less than 1%. Got down to 0.7% for quite a while there in inner Brisbane. And rents are increasing. So very low vacancy, constantly increasing rents. Very good, makes it very attractive for investors to want to buy into Brisbane. This image here shows you the lack of supply. So while we've got this massive demand in Brisbane, unfortunately it's been very difficult for developers and builders to get projects up and running and get the construction underway. So you can see this is showing from 2016, the dark blue down to 2021 of what's being delivered and built. And then you've got the light blue under construction. So the red line is the average annual demand. So we are way below what we need to be building for people to move into. So once again, we can't stress it enough. There's such a shortage of supply and a high demand that's only going to continue to push prices in an upwardly direction. And, as always been the case, well, for a while now, 15 years ago, it wasn't the same, but, now, as I mentioned before, affordability of housing is seeing people move to Brisbane, generally young families or first home buyers, or even retirees coming up for the weather. But they feel they can get a lot more bang for their buck with what they can buy in Brisbane. We certainly know we see people coming up from Sydney and they go, well, I can buy a 3-bedroom apartment for $1 million here, and I'll be lucky, depending on where it is in Sydney, to be a 1-bedroom or a very small 2-bedroom apartment. So it is very attractive property prices in Brisbane, and for both owner occupiers and investors. So obviously, we've mentioned the infrastructure being delivered and all the infrastructure delivered for the Olympic Games. Richard mentioned the pie, which is the population, the infrastructure and employment. And Brisbane's got all of that happening in copious amounts. So when the pie is working, we know you're going to get property price growth. So it's, we've got great opportunities in Brisbane where, like Nat has done on several occasions, I'll list a couple of occasions that I know of, where you buy a property, you put in 10% deposit, you lock in the price today, and then you watch it grow over the next 18 months, 2 years until it's settled, and take advantage of all the positive forecasts that Brisbane is looking for the next, well, everyone's saying for the next, up to the next 10 years. So it's looking very positive in that regard. This is just one of the examples of, one example of a development that we have. Michael has said before in this presentation that, much of what he gives his clients is, if not all, is off market. So this development here, it's not actually advertised at the moment. It is off market. You are seeing it before it's advertised on the realestate.coms or domain.com. So it's a fantastic apartment development. It's probably about 12 minutes south of the Brisbane CBD, very accessible, close to Westfield Garden City. So what we've got here today, just to show you, it's the first building in a 3-stage or 3-building apartment development, and it's got 52 apartments, a good mix of 1, 2 and 3-bedroom designs at some pretty fantastic prices, because we know once we get those first few early sales, as Richard mentioned, the developers and the builders, they'll keep pushing prices up and get price growth throughout the whole construction phase of the project.
And Adrian, the thing I like about this as well, it's only 15 minutes straight into the CBD, 20 minutes to the airport and 45 minutes to the soft sands of the Gold Coast.
Very central. Depending on who's driving, sometimes it's only 12 minutes to the CBD. So, this is the image front of the building here, stunning designs, and I'll run through just 3 of the floor plans as we get through. This is being delivered by a joint venture between Oak Ridge and CS Development. They're both developers and builders we've been dealing with previously. We've actually been selling for them for several years now. We've got one of their buildings that's just coming up to settlement this month, the Taringa. They always deliver well. They always build a good product. Often we have photos of it finished and compare it to these computer renders that we have at the start. And sometimes people find it difficult to work out which is the photo and which is the real thing, which is the render. So we're very excited to be delivering this and bringing this to market. Well, you're seeing it now off market. So just some of the internal images here, so you can get an idea of the quality: ducted air conditioning, stone benches, SMED kitchen appliances, floor to ceiling glazing onto the balconies, very large, spacious, open, airy, very livable properties, and very attractive to owner occupiers, and they'll rent their heads off to anyone that's buying as an investment. So now more internal images. Obviously here it's got a large, in this development we've got a fantastic green, lush green garden landscaping with dining areas, this crystal clear pool, barbecues, so that quite a few of the apartments look onto this very soft, lovely, leafy green outlook.
And how many trees were they replanting into this development again?
I'm not sure of the number because at the moment it's got another building there at the moment, so they'll be demolishing that early next year. But you'll see they do a very good job on any of their previous developments, and this one here, quite extensive landscaping of lush greenery, so that there'll be walkways in through here and different little pockets and breakout areas. You can see on the left there's a couple of balconies, sort of terraces that look out onto this. So we've got a couple of two-bedroom apartments and one-bedroom apartments that look towards this lovely greenery. So I've just picked 3 different apartment designs just to give you an idea. So here we've got the one-bedroom apartments, from 489,000. As I mentioned before, ducted air conditioning, Smeg appliances, stone benches. What we like about this, it's a wide frontage, so the bedrooms at the front, you get full width of that, the bedroom looking out with the glazing, your living going onto the balcony. Very, very great, good design. The galley kitchen, so you've got a proper galley kitchen. Sometimes you see a one bedroom where it's just a linear kitchen or an L-shaped kitchen. We prefer these galley kitchens here. So plenty of storage. You can tuck their stools in there. You can dine at the bench there, but there's also plenty of room to have a proper dining room table. So from 489, this is just such good buying compared to so many things that we've seen. It's a great opportunity for someone to get into the market at that price point at end.
And the thing I like about them as well, they're 56 square metres internal with no wasted space and 12-metre balconies. Plus, they've also got an underground car space that comes with them as well, which is very hard to find in Sydney and Melbourne, etc.
Exactly, yeah. This one here, I've chosen what we've got is a 2-bedroom and a space there. You can see behind that front door, it's like a media room. You can have a second TV room or second living area. So once again, these are located on the corner. On the top right, you'll see sort of the building layout, the dark grey areas show where this apartment's positioned. So because it's on the corner, you've got glass and glazing wrapping around 2 sides of the apartment. So both bedrooms have got full glazing. Both have got the bathroom. One's got the ensuite, one's got the main bathroom right outside. So the bathrooms separating the bedrooms very well, and both bathrooms also having an external window. So often you get one, or not two, not having the windows. The living area, very wide, square, open design, fantastic dining, living, balcony, and then the separate laundry tucked in there behind the kitchen. Just really a fantastic design. We've got only one of these with one car. It's $714,000, and all the other designs all have 2 cars in a tandem formation, and they're from $749,000. So to have something this size, it's 110 square metres. So it's 89 square metres internally. We've seen some people try and sell 3 bedrooms at 89 square metres internally. So this is a very spacious. You walk into this when it's finished, you go, wow. And as we always do with this developer and this builder, people walking into the end for the pre-settlement inspections at the end, they're always so happy and so very satisfied with their purchase.
And a quick question, Adrian, just go back one on the first, on the 1-bedder and the 2-bedder. What is the range of rentals that you'll get through these apartments, the rental return?
The rental returns range from about 5.2% on the 1-bedrooms up to about 5.8% on the ones. And then on the 2-bedrooms, we've got around 5%.
Oh, very good. That's outstanding. Okay, very good. It's very low down in Sydney, where they're at about a 2.8 to 3% tops sort of return. So great returns. And what I say up in Queensland is half the price at the moment, although those prices are moving very steeply upwards in the upward trend.
This here, 3-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, separate laundry, 2 car parks. We've got this on the northern corners of the building. On this corner and the opposing corner, very similar design. It's 120 square metres and it's for $999. Just fantastic layout. That's a huge kitchen with an island bench there. Plenty of storage up along next to that. You'll see all the cupboards, the pantry and the storage there. Then there's a little nook there for the study nook. Once again, all 3 bedrooms, because you're in a corner, they've all got plenty of glazing, plenty of natural light. Bedrooms 2 and 3, well separated by the main bathroom, and then the main bedroom on the top right-hand side with a fantastic walk-through robe that's quite extensive. You can actually walk into it, almost like a changing room, and then through to the double vanity ensuite. And then back to near the entrance, you've got a large walk-in separate laundry. Your laundry is not in your bathroom. It's not in the cupboard off your living area. Just very clever designs, and all the doors stacking opening out onto the balcony. So they're north facing, 120 square metres, 3 bedrooms, fantastic designs from $999.
And the question was raised about the car parking. With the 1 bedrooms, we've got 1 car. With the 2 bedrooms, we've got a number with some with 1 car, but a large number with 2 cars. And all the 3 bedrooms have 2 cars.
Excellent. And just to finish off on this great development called Pavilion, when is it looking to start to being developed, to come out of the ground, and when is it looking to be finished, Adrian?
Sure. If you just flick to the next screen, Michael, it'll just be a summation of the prices.
Sorry, yeah.
So that's just showing you a summation of pricing. I haven't mentioned car parks, but the top ones have 1, the bottom section have 2. But time-wise, they're looking at demolishing, because they're currently doing another development that we've sold out for them. So they're looking at demolition to be in March, April next year. And then they'll start construction, and it'll be completed in approximately February 2026. So it's a 22-month build, so February 2026. So what people are doing now, they're putting down a 10% deposit, and then nothing further. And that deposit sits in the solicitor's trust account. It's perfectly safe. No one can, the builder can't touch it, the developer can't touch it. It sits safely in the solicitor's trust account, and then settlements forecast for early 2026. If someone wants to purchase, we'll send you, you'll send you construction updates along the way, so they can watch it coming out of the ground and coming together. So it's very exciting, very exciting. So that's the time frame for it.
Very exciting times, and appreciate the overview of the Brisbane market, the fundamentals, where it's moving to over the next 10 years, and what you've got on offer here, which is fantastic. And I've already bought a number of apartments in here for clients, so that's fantastic. Off market, as I do, so that extends across to the people that are on the webinar at the moment as well. So we'll just move in across from there. Thank you very much. We've got the last slide for you, Adrian.
This is just a summation of what we've been saying. There's such limited supply, there's such strong demand. We've got the population, the infrastructure, employment. It all leads to the same thing. Property prices will go up, and they will continue to go up. So it is a fantastic time. We've been waiting for this market for Brisbane for a long time, and now it's here. It's a really exciting time to get involved.
And fortunately for me, about 4 years ago, I jumped on a plane and went up and saw Richard and Adrian. They took me around and showed me what was going on with infrastructure. And then I took all my clients up then about 4 years ago, and they've all benefited greatly already, as you've seen from Natalie as well, and others you'll see on my website. But running forward, we're just looking forward to the next 10 years. All my clients will be buying up there, and they've all done well and achieving very, very high rental returns, which is fantastic. That's what we want. So thank you very much, guys. We appreciate that. And I've been working with these guys for well over 15, 20 years. And they're fantastic at what they do. They deliver the project, and they make sure that you're happy, comfortable, and everything goes the right way. So thank you, guys, for looking after my clients for many, many years as well.
And Michael, can I just add, I remember that day about 4 years ago when you said to me, Michael had to convince me to go to Sydney, because I wanted to buy in Brisbane a long time ago. And he said, no, you got to buy in Sydney. He had all these reasons. He went through everything. I read his book, and got me into Marrickville, and got me into Coogee, and got me into places amazing in Sydney. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, he said, no, we're going to Brisbane. I said, what do you mean we're going to Brisbane? I could have been here a long time ago. He said, no, now's the right time. It's shifting. He's way ahead in understanding what the markets are doing, obviously with the help of Richard and Adrian. But definitely you've been forecasting this well before the papers have got up to speed with what's going on. So,
and that's what I love doing, Nat. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And here's a few testimonials. I won't read them all, but you can jump on my website. There's plenty there. There's Natalie Cook, who we know very well, and obviously you've met here tonight. Another lady, Eileen Cassidy, who's an influencer. She's bought in Brisbane as well, and another couple of apartments. She's done very well. Samantha Cranny's a great mortgage broker. She's doing awesome. I think she's on tonight as well, so she's awesome. I had a chat with her today about Brisbane. Couple of her clients, Chattel and Adam Lee, they bought some townhouses and have done phenomenally well as well. They got in early 2 years ago with me, so they're halfway through completion, so they're great. Belinda Hughes, she's doing well. She's bought one and then buying a next one shortly. Sunday Lucia has done very well, and and I even bought one for my brother recently, and he's over the moon. He had $400,000 to spend, and through Richard and Adrian, they had a great project in Chermside, and he's achieving a 6.5% return. So he's very, very happy. And another good friend of mine has also done the same. So I want to thank you all for coming along tonight. We're very bullish on Brisbane for the reasons you've seen, and over the many, many years that we've been working on this. So if you or your clients would like any of the following, a presentation on why invest in Brisbane real estate, we have that here. We'll be doing many of these over the coming years when new projects are coming on. And we'll also be updating everybody. We want people to understand why you buy in Brisbane. What's it going to mean to me? What's it going to mean? Shall I buy some for my kids? A lot of people are saying to me, the wealthy people in Sydney, where should I be buying for my kids? And I'm taking them straight up to Brisbane, and they're loving it. A free strategy call with me. You can see that on my website. You can join the off-market alert, so you get off-market alerts. Copy of my book for free. That's on the website as well. And if you'd be interested in learning more about the off-market development pavilion we just saw, then just drop me a line. My details are all over the website, mkbrisbaneproperties.com.au. My phone numbers are on the emails that you've been getting, but just want to wind it up there and thank everybody. It's been super great to have you all. Let me just jump out of this, which I don't really know. There we go. But thank you very much for everybody being here. Richard and Adrian, who put a lot of work into what they do, and they love what they do. And Natalie for being the incredible woman that she is, and the roles that she does for other Olympians. And maybe we can chat about that another day as well, Nat.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I'm passionate about the athlete being at the heart of everything we do, and obviously the world athletes are coming to Brisbane in 2032. So look out for them in Paris next year, and they'll continue to inspire us. And Michael's helping me help get athletes into the market as well, especially from an athlete level that's not as high profile as some footy players or golf or tennis. We want to have an opportunity for our water polo players, our hockey players, our beach volleyball players to the market too. And the pavilion is just around the corner from the beach volleyball centre. So I'm talking to them about how they can get involved. So it's a great opportunity, and we're all looking forward to the next 10 years plus.
Awesome. Thanks, Nat. Appreciate your time. You're wonderful always. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you. Bye.
Bye, guys.